So I think Preston and I were trading texts about, I want to say it's a recent one called Badfellas.
Yes. That's a perfect example of like, it's a Tuesday. I don't have a story for sure. And you mentioned archetypes. We've also, when we just don't have a story for a week, we've done like types of caddies, worst guests, types of members, things like that. So I was getting ready to maybe do another one of those. And I'm playing golf on a Tuesday with a friend of mine who's got like his boss's boss from out of town, right? And, he's like, can you take me to your club? And so we got for a round. He's telling him a little bit about Country Club Confidential. He's like, that's cool. And then as it often goes, people are like, if I just go to you and go, do you have a story? You'll probably go, no, not, but if I tell you two or three stories, it'll trigger something. And then you'll be like, oh, that reminds me of this or that. Right. So that sort of happened here because he's like, oh, and then he's like, well, actually, I got one for you. And it's this guy, it's a club. He's from out of town, as I mentioned. So it's not Southern California, but a known mob city that should open up about 3 or 4 cities in your mind where this could have been. So in the 90s, they had their clubhouse and the carpet was worn. It was dated looking, probably some, who knows, 60s, 70s, whatever. So they wanted to redo it. So the kind of power center of the club is like, let's get this done. We're on the board, whatever. So the club rules where they had to go to a vote. So they put it up for a vote and the assessment, was going to be whatever it was going to be. And the membership voted it down. So being from a town like this, there was a plan B, and that was to burn the clubhouse down and have the insurance pay for a new one. Thus the title, if you remember the Goodfellas, when it's all
Yes.
squeezed out, you light a match, right? So
That seems like a nuclear option plan B right
it's,
there.
well, I guess in certain parts of the country, in certain cultures, that's what, if you can't win it
Just
you try democracy. And when that doesn't work, you go to your own,
burn the place down.
just burn it down. So that's what they did. So that's like a interesting story if that's where it ends. But they do the full investigation, and apparently these guys were good at this because they came in and did the full arson investigation, and it was deemed to be an accident. So they're like, okay, pay the insurance claim. And what they didn't know, and what everyone this many years later in statute of limitations, I guess, is that if the insurance company had hired a better, or at least more golf knowledgeable arson investigator, he would have realized that there was 72 members that had brought their golf bags home from the bag room the night before the fire. And so if they had done just one little audit of that, or the registration, or so yeah. And then the lesson on that one, so of course other members were not in the know. It's not a 72 member club. So our little lesson that we like to add at the end of the story is just make sure you're always close to the power center of the club. So if you need to take your clubs home, one night you get the phone call, and don't have your
So good.
grandpa's putter burned down or whatever,
Yeah.
something sentimental. And some people you might want to leave. We don't know. There might have been more than 72 people who got the call, and some of them just wanted a new set and figured, we'll have the insurance pay for it.